Hi folks, Dave Schmidt here. Well, let's see, for me, it's the afternoon of Saturday, September 17th as I'm coming to you. And as you can see, well, I'm back in Thailand and I'm going to be here for about a week and a half. And I've been invited to come back here again by the gentleman that I had mentioned to you a couple weeks ago. His name is Jason Hill with the Jason Society. There's a reason why I am here at this specific location. If you have heard me say over and over and over again without sounding like a broken record, I've always said it's about following the money. And at the very root and core of all the money for this RVGCR and these currency exchanges and these humanitarian funds is the gold. A gold that what we call is off-market gold. A gold that is not known to what is called the normal market traders that are on Wall Street and all the other trading firms all around the world. And that gold has always been at the very root and the very core of what is funding this for us. Those of you who have attended my workshops, you've heard me say it's the gold, the gold, the gold. It's all about the gold. Well, there's a reason why I'm at this specific location. But before I get into that, I'm going to talk about two parts in this video message today. One is the location that I'm at, and the second one is the guest that I'm going to have on my radio program this coming week in conjunction with this video. First of all, most of us know, or we have been told and taught, that the largest gold resource is what we call the in-the-ground gold is in South Africa. But as I'm here, there will be people that will tell you it's quite different. I'm here on Koh Phangan Island. It's also known just Phangan Island here in Thailand. And what most people don't know is the southern part of the island has the single largest gold reserves of anywhere on this planet. It's underneath us here. Where I am right here on this place, this whole 1/3 of the island are these massive veins of unmined gold. Gold is a very high energy conductor. We know that. And when I talk to you about my relationship with Sedona, I always talk about the energy of Sedona because it's the unique geography of Sedona. It's the iron in conjunction with the high concentration of quartz crystals underground, and it creates this huge energy shift, or what I call a higher energy vibration, because those are energy conductors and they interact with the electromagnetic energy of the earth. So everything in Sedona vibrates at a slightly higher vibration than almost anywhere else in North America. Well, this island is the same way. Why? High concentrations of gold in the ground and also high concentrations of quartz crystals under the ground here. I've been here for 2 days, and I can already tell there's something that's so different about this place. Jason says it's the most sacred place on this planet. There's a history here that goes back a number of years, and when I say a number, we're talking tens of thousands of years. Most of us know that we've had a lot of our history hidden from us. And we're now starting to see coming out through the Discovery Channel and National Geographic that there are these places here in the South Pacific where there are underwater ancient cities that are 30 and 40,000 years old. They're 20 and 30 feet down, and the divers go down and they take the pictures, and you see these full intact ancient cities. Well, according to Jason, right behind me, right out there, is one of those cities. He says it's the largest, fullest, complete, intact, underground ancient city of anywhere on this planet. That meant that this island, thousands and thousands of years ago, was a very sacred place. And today, it carries a very unique energy vibration to it. I was riding around with Jason yesterday. You know, we get these little kind of moped motorbikes, and that's the norm of transportation here. And we're going down the road, and all of a sudden he pulls off and he says, "Let's stop here." And we walk up, and there's this small mound of rock that is above ground. And he says, "Look at it." And you get down close, and you can see the flecks of gold in it. And then you can also see the flecks of the crystal that is in it as well. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. And I can actually feel a difference in the vibratory energy that was around that rock. And I had something very unique happen. I pulled my camera and my phone out, took a couple pictures of this rock, and then all of a sudden my whole camera just went blank. It was like the battery was pulled out. It was dead as dead could be. I couldn't get it to come back up. My first reaction was I thought the battery had gone dead. I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. We talked for a little bit, came back to where I'm staying here with these bungalows that are here on the beach, and pull the battery, my phone out of my pocket. It's up and it's doing fine. And I said, Jason, what was this? He says, there's a delayed reaction of the energy that comes out of the rock because of the gold, the combination of the gold and the crystals that is there, and it will interfere with electromagnetic communication, cell phones, various communication sources and stuff like that. And it basically, it blew your phone out is what it did. Now what it did, it disrupted and it shut down the ability to receive the phone communication through the air. What an experience that was for me. That's the uniqueness of this place. And Jason says, because of who you are, because of what you're doing, because of you've talked about the history of the gold in this planet, the history with the dragon families, and these families come back to this place as well, going back thousands and thousands of years of their history. This was always the central place where a lot of this came out of. We always used to think that it's headquartered in China and the various other places. Yes, that's where it is today. But when you go back thousands of years, according to him, it's rooted here. That's why I'm here. And a little side note, folks, most of us in the United States, we love going to Hawaii. I've come to the conclusion, forget Hawaii. I'm coming to Thailand. This is an absolute paradise. I couldn't believe the cost that is here. I've got these little bungalows all around me in this little tiny resort. There's only about 16 of them. And we can stay here for only $20 a night, and they're just as good as many hotel rooms that I'd be paying $100 and $150 a night for in the United States. So it's just, and then you can see the beaches right there behind me. So it's not exorbitant in the cost at all once that you get here. That's that part of it. Now, what's coming up this week? This week on the radio program, I'm going to have a very special guest. I've always talked about that I knew the source of the funding. Now we're talking about real dollars in real bank accounts that was going to fund our exchange, and how it was primarily focused on the issue of humanitarian aid projects. There has been one primary source of that money, and that is what is called the Rodriguez Trust. It's headquartered in the Philippines. Its history goes back to the late 1800s, but the person who is the asset manager of that trust will tell you it actually goes all the way back to the 1500s, the history of the Rodriguez Trust. And in that trust, it's the gold that is the assets, that is the collateral that backs it up. This week on my radio program, the guest is going to be Dr. Alan Kohler. He is the asset manager of the Rodriguez Trust. He came into this trust through his wife, who was Filipino by her nationality, and had the family history of being a part of the royal bloodline families to be a part of this trust. He's the asset manager. He's the one that disperses the money. He is the one that has already been responsible for sending out trillions of real dollars into real bank accounts. And he said, yes, it is time to now release it for these currency exchanges as well. And you're going to be able to hear from him yourself saying that they are going to make sure that they are willing to fund everybody here that is on this list. I can't talk about rates. I don't know what those rates are. That's going to come at a later time. But the Rodriguez Trust is going to be the source of the funding, and Dr. Kohler will be my guest on the radio program this coming week, and he will tell you about the history of the Rodriguez Trust. He will tell you about the history of the gold. He says the gold that we have goes all the way back to Solomon's Temple. It was the gold that came out of Solomon's Temple that was brought to the area of Asia, and that is the collateral foundation of this estate, this trust that's been established, and it's been in existence for well over 100 years with historical data that takes it back about 500 years. And as I said, he's the asset manager, which means he's the decision maker when stuff gets released. You're going to hear some really good news coming from Dr. Kohler. This is where we get to realize this is not just a bunch of empty talk, folks. This is stuff that's real. All the countries in this world know about the Rodriguez Trust. The IMF knows about the Rodriguez Trust. The World Bank knows about the Rodriguez Trust. The Bank of International Settlements knows about the Rodriguez Trust. All of your top major bankers know about the Rodriguez Trust. They know that that's a real trust with money that is beyond our comprehension. And Dr. Kohler says it's time to release those funds. He's going to be my guest this week. And I know we'll have him back on multiple occasions as well. But this is where it's really bringing it home, folks. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the gold, the gold, the gold. The real money that backs up the exchanges that we are about ready to embark upon. Thank you very much. And yes, this coming Wednesday, I'll be doing my radio program from right here in Thailand. I'm enjoying myself here. Thank you for being patient with me. When I said, I was traveling, I was not able to basically disclose my location until I had permission to do so, and I'm able to do it here in this video. Love all of you. It's going to be a great radio program on Wednesday night. Thanks a lot. Okay. Bye-bye.